Some of the young stars of Nickelodeon have turned their early success into long-term careers, but others have had trouble transitioning into more grown-up entertainment. With that in mind, these particular Nickelodeon stars aren't as rich as you think. Beth Denberg was a fan-favorite cast member during her time on All That. With sketches like Vital Information and The Loud Librarian, there's no denying her iconic status. These days, she still tries to keep up with acting, with her net worth coming in at a reported $750,000. Outside of showbiz, it turns out that she's also an ordained minister. In 2012, she told ABC News, "It's my favorite thing to do. I got ordained as a minister to marry my oldest friend in the world to his now wife. I wrote a whole specialized ceremony for them and people just loved it. They said, 'This is so great, you should do this. You should offer this service,' so I took their advice." Considering that Denberg built her reputation on dishing out vital information, you might think she's constantly offering advice to fans, but that's not exactly the case. As she told Huffington Post in 2018, "People always ask me to do it and I never do. We also just started giving, like actual adult vital information. At Comic-Con in New York, we were like, if you're going to rent an apartment, get renter's insurance. It's in your best interest." But Denberg did make her old fans happy in 2019 when she made a special appearance on the All That reboot.
Hey, Reese. How would you like to be the new host of Vital Information?
Can I keep the toast?
Sure.
Floppy-haired Danny Tamberelli was a 90s Nickelodeon staple, starring in childhood faves like All That, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, and Figure It Out. He reportedly has a net worth of an estimated $1.1 million, and although his face was once so easily recognizable, he hasn't really maintained a mainstream acting career. Instead, he founded a YouTube sketch comedy channel while also taking his troupe on tour for live shows. For those of you yearning for the days of slimy yesteryear, you'll be happy to know that Tamberelli has reunited with his former Pete and Pete co-star Mike Morona for a podcast called The Adventures of Danny and Mike. In 2015, Morona quipped to the Washington Times, "The podcast got started at the end of one month when Danny couldn't make rent. On the 31st, he said, 'We should do this podcast.' 5 days later, we got Danny some rent money." Besides his professional endeavors, Tamberelli has been busy starting a family with his wife, Caitlin. In June 2019, they welcomed a son named Alfred Knoll into the world. Ross Hull has proven he isn't afraid of the dark, or Canadian weather for that matter. The Montreal-bred actor, whose reported net worth is an estimated $1 million, switched gears after his time on Nickelodeon's Are You Afraid of the Dark to become a meteorologist for Global News back in his home country. He spoke to the Globe and Mail in 2015 about how Nickelodeon led to his future success. "Dark paved the way for me to continue not only in acting but my transition into journalism and meteorology. A couple of years ago, I was in New York City for the book launch of Slimed. I was shocked at the number of fans who traveled from all over the US to be there. I was inspired by how the show had affected their lives in a positive way, despite it scaring the crap out of them." Are You Afraid of the Dark was rebooted in 2019, and Hull is a bit disappointed he wasn't asked to return. He told TMZ, "I don't take it personally by any means, but it would be nice to be a part of it, you know, a cameo. I think people are longing for that feeling they had with these shows, and perhaps some of them want to see where some of the cast members are now." Matthew Underwood was every tween girl's crush when he played Logan Reese in Zoe 101. He quietly left Hollywood after the series ended in 2008, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been in the news. With a reported net worth of $1 million, he had a few unfortunate run-ins with the law, such as getting arrested for drug charges with a minor in 2012. If that wasn't bad enough, he was arrested yet again that same year for allegedly violating his 12-month probation. Thankfully, not all of Underwood's drug-related moments made negative headlines. In 2017, he was dubbed a hero after he rescued an infant from a car crash in Florida after the parents had overdosed on heroin.
Then I heard a baby cry, and that's when I immediately ran around the other side of the car and looked for the baby.
When he's not rescuing children from cars, Underwood has been working as a director, making small project videos and even helming a music video for his former co-star, Jamie Lynn Spears. Kel Mitchell wants you to know he's alive and well. The Kenan Kel star, who's worth a reported $2 million, was a victim of a bizarre internet hoax in 2006 that spread around MySpace claiming that he was dead. After he explained to Huffington Post in 2014, "I had family members calling me and calling my parents saying, 'Is Kel okay?' It was pretty crazy, but I didn't get upset by the whole thing. Afterward, it was kind of cool with people going, I mean, not the action of it was cool, but it was like when people discovered that I was alive, it was just like, oh, okay, well, what else is he doing?" Besides not being dead, Mitchell's 21st century highlights include auditioning to join the cast of Saturday Night Live, a number of voice work roles, and appearing in numerous Nickelodeon shows alongside a new generation of Nick actors. For those of you yearning for some 90s nostalgia, Mitchell decided to surprise his fans and reunite with Kenan Thompson in 2015 for a throwback Good Burger sketch on The Tonight Show. And he's also appeared on the 2019 All That revival.
I told you he was the best.
Thanks, Kel. Let's go.
Real hammer.
Drake and Josh star Drake Bell has had some peculiar luck since the show's end in 2007. He hasn't stopped working, but he nonetheless found himself filing for bankruptcy in 2014. According to the filing, which was obtained by E! News, the actor-musician owned $1.575 million in real estate and $10,500 in personal property, but he had debts totaling about $2.166 million. With his monthly expenses reportedly totaling over $18,000, he claimed to have an average income of about $2,820. Bell has had some more bad luck in addition to his financial woes. In 2016, for example, he was sentenced to 96 hours in jail for a second DUI conviction. So where was his former on-screen stepbrother Josh Peck to help him out? Totally MIA, it turns out. When Peck got married in 2017, he invited most of his former Nickelodeon co-stars except Bell, who was clearly disgruntled, posting cryptic messages on Twitter that he subsequently deleted. He told People magazine, "I was caught off guard. He's been my best friend for 18 years. In all honesty, we talk all the time. We've been talking. I was just expecting." Thankfully, the duo eventually hugged it out later in the year, prompting their fans to rejoice in relief. Josh Server was the only cast member to stick around for all 6 original seasons of All That. After his time with the series came to a close, he continued on with a few Nickelodeon projects before quietly disappearing from the spotlight with a reported net worth of $250,000, as he explained to Bustle in 2014, "I've been finding my way back to acting in smaller doses. But recently, I really made a commitment to go all out and really start doing it at a high level, and things are really starting to happen. The effort must be paying off, as Server has been landing steady work since 2017, starring in indie flicks and also reuniting with his old castmates Laurie Beth Denberg and Kel Mitchell for the All That reboot in 2019. He also admitted to Bustle, "It's always a little nerve-wracking to see how you'll be perceived after all these years of somebody knowing you in a certain way."
Josh Server!
You're an All That legend.
Considering how much fans adored Server during his original time on All That, there's hopefully enough goodwill left over for him to continue lighting up screens for years to come. Amanda Bynes was once Nickelodeon's it girl, rising to fame on All That and then getting her name in the title on The Amanda Show. But perhaps her sudden rise to the A-list contributed to her subsequent hard downfall, as she joined the ranks of young stars gone wrong. In 2010, she announced via Twitter that she was retiring from acting, even though she was only 24 at the time. And remarkably, as of 2019, she still hasn't appeared in any new films since the release of Easy A in 2010. As for Bynes' personal life, things have gone from bad to worse. By 2013, she was left out of control of her finances when her mother was granted temporary conservatorship. A year later, she was hospitalized under psychiatric hold, but sometime after that, her future looked promising. In a 2018 interview with Paper Magazine, she revealed that she was looking forward to returning to acting, but then she found herself relapsing in 2019. Although it looks like she's trying to take care of herself, as she reportedly went on to stay in a sober living group home. Nate Richert was a total 90s heartthrob during his time as Harvey Kinkle on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, winning the hearts of teens everywhere. You'd think he'd go on to have a successful career, yet his acting credits after the show ended in 2003 are minuscule, and he's worth only a reported $150,000. So what exactly happened? Not a whole lot, apparently. When a fan tweeted in 2018 asking where he's been after his stint on Sabrina, the actor revealed, "Anxiety and subsequent depression were my major game stoppers. Took a decade to learn how to cope and overcome. Back then, all I knew was something was wrong with me, that I was broken and unworthy, all that fantastic BS anxiety likes to ruin your life with." Richert went on to explain that he does whatever it takes to get by, noting that he's worked as a maintenance man, a janitor, and a carpenter, and done whatever random jobs he can to pay the bills. He also does improv and writes songs to keep his sanity. His preferred genre is folk music, and as of 2019, he's released 3 albums. Larisa Oleynik was set for superstardom in the 90s, thanks to her time as the title character on The Secret World of Alex Mack and in numerous iconic teen flicks. At the time, USA Today dubbed her the proverbial girl next door. Considering how popular she was, you'd think that she'd be swimming in the spoils of her fame. Yet her net worth comes in at $4 million, a lot less than you might expect for the once in-demand star. It isn't as if Oleynik hasn't been acting in the years since. Indeed, she's found regular work throughout the years, with recurring roles on such shows as Mad Men and Hawaii Five-0, just to name a couple. But she's not necessarily looking for a quick buck. As she explained to BuzzFeed in 2017, while appearing in the off-Broadway musical Baghdaddy, "I always find things that are challenging. Whatever life this show has or doesn't have, it is a reminder of the way that you want to feel in your work and the kinds of stuff you want to be seeking out. It's always more fun when you are challenging every part of yourself." Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.